Good afternoon, folks. We are live once again. Let me get everything switched over and we will go ahead and jump into the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. It is time. And now the real test of whether or not my machine can handle running a 60 frame per second VTuber model and this game. We will find out. I did see that Red Dragon resubbed for 13 months, over a year. Thanks, dude. Much appreciated. Alright, let me get everything loaded. They'll be able to tell if things are running better or worse. I might have to drop my model down to 30 FPS, but we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So we should have video. I'll explain a little bit about what I've done. I've not played much of the beta at all. I just created my character. So let's go ahead and actually get in and see where it drops us. Red Dragon says it's not too bad, the beta. You talking about just the content, or are you talking about the performance? Have you done the actual missions? Or quests, rather? Okay, good. It stuck us back in here. So what I did last night, because I wanted to test everything. Let's see. Broadcast. Definitely dropping the frame rate a bit. Okay. Let me drop my model down to 30 FPS just for today. Hopefully that'll make the broadcast a little smoother. Okay, that helped a little bit. My Dragon says how it runs in a couple. Yeah, I've been hearing interesting stories from people in the community since the Steam version has come out, talking about optimization, and it looks like there's still some things that need to be ironed out. There's some pretty amusing graphical glitches that people are posting, like low poly stuff just not loading. But first thing I want to do, there it is. I usually run around without a helmet. Oh, have you seen some of the glitches too, Red Dragon? The monsters like falling through the clipping planes. I have not gone out at all. What I wanted to do today, since I know most people are jumping in and just running straight to the content, I want to actually do a deep dive into the weapons because I've only seen a little bit of coverage from some of the YouTubers that I know in the series, in the community that play the different series. But I want to actually get hands on all of the weapons, explore them a bit, and then we'll see how long that takes. And maybe if we have time, we'll go out and try some of the hunts and check out the environments, which would be a good test for how things run. But so far, looking at the broadcast, dropping my model down seemed to help a bit. I am most likely going to have to invest in some better hardware by the time this game actually releases. But that's okay. For the sake of testing stuff, we'll see how it looks. I'm getting some weird kind of texture popping a bit too. This is running on high settings. One thing I read that seems to help is turning off motion blur will take a little bit of the heat off of the performance. But yeah, I can just see there things are popping in. But I care mostly about how smooth everything runs versus how nice it looks. So I wonder if I can change... Okay, it's on performance mode. Okay, we want to keep it on that, I think, for now. I'd rather the frame rate not absolutely tank into the toilet versus it just be a little sharper. I think the game looks fine so far, just in camp. And for now, we're just going to be smacking the barrel. But we'll see. So real quick, just to kind of intro. This particular character that I made using the editor is based on one of the characters from a story that I've written. And when I was figuring out whether I was going to do something completely unique or create one of my characters in Wilds, since I know I'm going to main Gunlance, I ended up settling on this one because she uses a type of like fire energy. And it seemed to fit. I might tweak some settings, but overall I think I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. The character customization options are pretty robust. I like the different things you can tweak, and detail looks pretty good. So that being said, let's jump into it. We're going to start with my baby, my main weapon, the Gunlance. And I messed around with this last night, but I'll kind of talk a bit about what I've learned, and then we'll see what else we can figure out as far as how the weapon is set up in this game, especially coming off of Rise, which it'll be a little bit of an adjustment once the beta's over for this, going back to Rise. But I do intend to continue working on the endgame stuff for Rise before Wilds comes out. But first off, general movement with the Gunlance doesn't seem too different. It's hard to tell if the ground speed is different without just doing a direct side-by-side from Wilds to Rise. But general kind of slow plodding pace is consistent. If we move in Unsheath, we get the lunge. That's the same. We still have the hops, forward hops, side steps. We can do our regular standard back hop. Or we can do the long back hop by inputting back and dodge at the same time. It's a little bit difficult to do on its own and chain it, but if you do it out of a move, like if I go poke and back and evade, we get the big dodge. So that's the regular one, long dodge. I imagine with the evade extender that's going to be even better. The poke combos I noticed are a little bit different now in Rise, which is going to be my point of comparison going forward. So if folks are watching this later and wondering why I talk about Rise a lot, it's because that's the one I'm currently playing. In Rise, we have a 3-poke combo, which is pretty standard for Gunlance, but in here we go poke, poke, and now we go into the wide sweep, which is a new super critical variation on the old wide sweep for the Gunlance. It was pretty useful before, and you can combo into different things from the wide sweep, but now it chains into so many different things. It's actually pretty interesting what they've done. This weapon by far feels the most different, just from what I've seen, and we'll get some hands-on actual feedback today. In addition to the lateral pokes, lateral thrust, we've got upswing. This is with triangle circle. We'll be talking with PlayStation controls today. For hitting things higher up, we should be able to go up, but we can't chain pokes from the upswing. Instead, if we hit triangle, we go into the overhead slam, which is a pretty heavy hitting move, does decent damage, and had some combo paths off before. We've got shield on R2. We can poke from behind the shield. The standard triangle one will go up. if we hold down guard, hit triangle circle, we go into Wyvern's Fire. More on that in a little bit. If we go into the overhead slam, we combo directly into the wide sweep, and we go into Wormstake Cannon, which launches the exploding spike that goes in the target and explodes after a few seconds, doing tick damage. One major change in the gun lance that I realized that I find very fascinating in Wilds is you can shell nonstop now, as far as I can tell. Before, in Rise, and this started in World and Iceborne, I believe, because I haven't played GU or 4th generation Gunlance in a while. Before, if you pop off a couple shots, then it goes into a Wormstake as of 5th generation. Now, especially with a 6-shell normal Gunlance, you can just pop off shots until you run out, and then I think it'll automatically reload your bullet magazine. There you go. And another noteworthy thing, in addition to being able to just repeatedly shell, is the sharpness degradation that happens when you shell is now severely reduced. In fact, I can't even tell if it's going down at all. If you look at the green sharpness meter in the upper left, before, in all the other games, shelling would chip away at your sharpness pretty well, and if you do things like full burst, it would take a gouge out of your sharpness bar, which meant gun lance users had to deal with sharpness management a lot. Otherwise, they lose the ability to hit things. If we go into the full burst, nope. I think shelling just doesn't take sharpness away at all now, which is fantastic. If all of the sweeping moves and pokes are what degrade sharpness and not shelling, that opens up so many options for Gunlance's offensive capabilities. In addition to being able to statically shell, we can hold circle to charge. And this will charge as many shells as you have available in the magazine. So we have 6, so we should see 6 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we pop off a shot for concentrated damage. Another really, really interesting change in mechanics for Gunlance, in fact, something I think is one of the biggest game changers so far as its movement. If we input a direction and shell, we can now move. Before, you couldn't do that. So that means you can shell sideways. If you need to go backwards, you can use the momentum of the actual shelling to force yourself backwards. Likewise, I think you can do it forwards too. Yep. That doesn't really make much sense because it shouldn't push you forward because you're, physics, but the big ones I think are the side steps. And you can do that for as many times as you have shells active or available in your magazine. That's massive. The ability to do that to reposition is huge. One thing we'll be talking about as we explore the weapons is focus mode, which you get by holding L2. This is unique to Wilds and something that all the weapons have now, which is going to be quite interesting from a gameplay perspective. But by holding down focus mode, you can essentially aim and strafe around your targets instead of being locked into like a lateral plane with your attacks. So what that means is for something like Gunlance, if we go into focus mode, we can essentially redirect ourselves and make sure we're always pointing towards the target. And that's going to take some getting used to. but really cool addition to overall mechanics for every single weapon. Going back to Gunlance combos, and again, I've just barely tinkered around with some of this stuff. If we go into a combo that leads to the wide sweep, so I guess we can do it from 3 pokes. If we go triangle and circle at the same time after the wide sweep, we get that upwards burst of shells, which is called Wormstake Full Blast. That unloads a bunch of shells. Does it do the full thing? Yep. And then pops off a Wormstake at the end. If we do that, and then we input it again, we get the multi-Wormstake Full Blast, which is that downwards shelling animation, and then we go in to pop another one. So if you get a big enough opening and the monster is standing still, you could stack on that massive combo for what I assume is very high damage. And that chain of things back to back is new. Gunlance has never had anything like that. Lets you chain back to back. I've heard people talking about the ability to combo into the Wyvern's Fire, but I've not figured out what the combo string is that gets you into the animations. Normally it takes a while to charge up, but I haven't figured out what combo paths lead to ending with the Wyvern's Fire, because it comes out faster when you do that. Of note, on the left, the little kind of circular orange icons, it's glowing orange. Those are my Wyvern's Fire stocks. As of this game, we get more than one charge. And that's another thing new for Monster Hunter and the Gunlance. In addition, shelling helps charge or recharge your Wyvern's Fire faster. I imagine with utility skills like artillery and other things, the overall cooldown rate will go up, and we'll get it faster. Red Dragon asks, is your camera off, or is your screen off center? I don't think so. I'm running in borderless windowed, but on the actual broadcast, I don't think it's off center. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to fix. Thanks for reminding me. I want to zoom in out a bit. Where is it? Zoom. Yeah, okay. I want to pull it back a little bit, so I can have a bit more visibility into things around my character. Oh, it's interesting the camera zooms in when you do that as well. Kind of a dynamic over the shoulder as you get ready to unleash hellfire on whatever it is you're fighting. Let me check my source in OBS. It's probably because I have it snapped to different dimensions for another game. We'll leave it like that. It'll be cut off a bit. Otherwise, it's going to screw up everything else. Yeah, that's fine for now. I'll make sure I fix that for the actual game when it comes out. 'Cause I haven't messed with any of the resolution settings. Okay, so a couple things of note that I found with the gun lance that I'm eager to test out at some point on a hunt. There is perfect guarding, which is why there's that slight kind of circular motion Hunter makes with the shield. And apparently you can combo out of that, which might be the Wyvern's Fire counter. But in addition, what I think is the biggest change for defense on the gun lance that I'm super interested to test out is the quick reload. If we go into an attack or a shell or pretty much anything, and then we hold down R2 and hit circle, which are normally our reload button, we get that, which will reload all of our shells, but it won't reload the worm stake. We need the full reload for that. If I go like this and do the reload, you see how the shield glows white. That is apparently a guard point. I was watching Rurikhan's coverage of the gun lance. He's where I get all my information on this weapon from. That has not existed in Monster Hunter since Generations Ultimate with Valor Gun Lance. If that functions like it has in old games like that, when you use quick reload and your shield's up and you get the glow, you should be able to parry or block incoming attacks, which made Valor Gun Lance in those old games incredibly fun. You could get right in something's face, poke, shell, and attack, and if you're about to get hit, you just go hit, whatever, dodge. Quick reload for the parry. There is guard reload in Rise, but it doesn't function quite the same way. It's a bit slower and will tank hits if you have enough skills in defense. But being able to pop that quickly, do something like 1, 2, reload, parry, position, reload, shell, hop. That's very, very interesting to me. And I think that inclusion of the guard point on the quick reload and the mobility options and the absolutely nutty combo chains are going to give the gun lance a lot of offensive potential. And I really hope it gets people to play this weapon, because this is one of the most underplayed weapons in the entirety of Monster Hunter. In addition, kind of stat experts have said that shelling doesn't scale off of skills purely anymore. They're saying that shelling appears to scale off of attack, which is massively important. If that's true all the way through and has viable scaling into the later game, it means the gun lance isn't going to lose a lot of its damage, which it's historically had a problem with. That is incredibly satisfying. So yeah, this will be my main from day one. I am really looking forward to taking this thing out and seeing how it performs against some of the more quick targets. But let's take a look at another weapon. Red Dragon, since you're hanging out, do you have anyone you want me to look at? If not, I'm just going to pick one. I'll probably go Lance next, unless you want to see a specific one of the 14.
And what do you look for in a weapon?
Okay, you tried every one?
If often.
Okay.
Wonderful. In that case, equip your.
Well, we'll go down the list, I guess. That way I'll remember what I cover. We'll do Great Sword next. We'll just go like this. Great Sword, Long Sword, Dual Blades, Sword and Shield, Hammer. I'm very interested to get my hands on Lance. It's another one I've been eyeing as a potential secondary. Going Gun Lance main, Lance secondary, I have never done in a game. In fact, I never really played Lance extensively until Rise.
You can try out your weapon over here. Once you've got a feel for the weapon.
From what I've read, Great Sword hasn't changed a ton. There's some new stuff, but a lot of the fundamentals for this weapon, big hits, careful positioning, haven't really changed. But one thing that I've heard, the inclusion of the focus mode, which will take some getting used to, but the ability to go into charges and be able to move and slightly reposition to make sure you don't miss is massive for Great Sword. I don't think I can emphasize enough how much that changes the animation commitment for a weapon that in the past kind of locks you into a direction, and if you whiff, you whiff. But that's probably made one of my hunting buddies who mains Great Sword incredibly happy. We still have the tackle. So we can tackle, upgrade the charge all the way to true. And going for that. That hasn't changed. We can go wide into regular standing charge. I wonder if they incorporated any of the rapid hitting moves from switch skills in Rise. It's a style I haven't played around with, but it's really interesting to watch because it relies on more hits instead of singular charged up strikes like most Great Sword. Let's see. Offset rising slash. That's that. And that'll go right into... Okay, that seems different. Oh, there's that. Okay. That's out of a tackle? Circle out of tackle. Okay, that's a combo path that I think is taken from Rise. I don't know if you could do it from that sequence of moves in World. Red Dragon says, I like the longsword. The moves are a little different. Yeah, I've heard longsword, which we'll look at next. Longsword has some really nutty new things, which is crazy because that weapon was already incredibly powerful with all of its counters. I've heard it is now even more nutty. Oh, there's the kick. Triangle out of guard. Side blow, that's what that's called. Trying to figure out what combos out of side blow. Okay, you can go into the slap, and then I imagine you go slap, and you can pull back. go into the strong charge. I'll probably mess around with the greatsword. If the movesets for all the weapons and wilds are as diverse as they look, I will probably be playing all the weapons. I just don't know in what order this time. Okay, let's see. Can we switch our weapon without talking to Alma?
Have you chosen your weapon?
Oh, okay, we just do that. Alright, longsword. Another weapon I haven't built out a set for in Rise, but will be at some point. Crescent Slash. That I don't recognize. I haven't played dedicated longsword in a while. I think since GU, a little bit in World and Iceborne, and not really at all in Rise yet. But the double chop, okay, overhead, that's pretty much the same. But that crescent slash. Where is the poke? Nope, that's rising slash. I want to say it used to go overhead poke. And it doesn't look like it does that anymore. Spirit thrust, is that the kick? No. Okay, spirit combos. Fade slash. Okay, that's the same. Well, am I not able to enter buff states with the draining barrel? I kept hearing that one of the big changes is the red buff. There it is. Okay. Spirit Helm Breaker. Okay, that's still the same. Special Sheath. Yep, remember that move. Foresight Slash. Combo 1. Red Dragon says R2 to rank up the buff. Yeah, normally it's through spirit combos. Like landing the finisher normally ranks up the buff, but I don't know if it works on the training dummy. Because the bar normally changes color. So maybe it doesn't do it when we're just hitting something like that. And a really cool longsword too. Kind of looks like that sword from Bleach. Thinner version. Oh, okay. There's the Spirit Round Slash. Does that rank up? There it is. Okay, I got it. Oh wow, that changes the actual regular hits. There's the poke. Okay, so this is like a buff state, kind of like dual blades. That is really fast. Wow. And now that turns into like a leaping double slash. And spirit combos. I'm watching the bar. Do they replenish the red? It's hard to tell because I keep whiffing. R2 plus triangle. Good lord. We're Virgil. Alright. Well, I can see this weapon's going to be popular. That's incredibly cool and stylish. I like it. Okay, so how did I enter into... Okay, you gotta get the full charge and go through. Right. Does this change foresight? Yep. Does it change special sheath? I imagine if that didn't miss, that'd be a little bit different too. Huh, fascinating. Yeah, okay, I could see how trying to keep centered with focus mode is important. Alright, that's how we can refill the buff. Now I'm wondering if the skill focus will allow you to do that big circular charge faster. Oh, you can just do it by holding R2. Spirit charge. And that's how you can redirect to make sure you actually land it. Very cool. This is a weapon I didn't know too much about prior to the beta, but I think it's going to be popular. Here's hoping a lot of those attacks don't trip your teammates. Okay, let's move on.
Have you chosen your weapon?
SNS, one of my other hunting buddies, was just telling me today that he thinks he's going to main this weapon. Okay, we got the shield bashes from... Whoa, that's new from other games, World and Rise. How's the movement mid-combo? Repositioning seems pretty effective. Some slightly new combo strings I don't recognize, but they function pretty similarly. Oh, we don't have the slide. At least not on the same inputs. It used to be triangle, circle. Now it's this kind of lunge, advancing slash. Okay, got the falling bash, the vault. That's good. I like that move. Round slash finisher. Looks a little different, but it's probably still going to be the highest scaling attack. Charge chop. I need to figure out how I'm doing that. No, it doesn't come from that. Let me look at the inputs in the upper corner and see. Oh, triangle, circle, charged, mid-string looks like. Okay. That's interesting. I guess that's a good finisher follow-up if the monster is staying kind of in one place. Or using focus mode to redirect. What about the parry? Do we still have parry? No. This is just guard. Guard swipe. In Rise we had the parry that goes into perfect rush. Which I'm assuming we still have that. If I didn't miss. Yep. Red Dragon says there is a parry counterattack. Okay, is it on a different button then? A different input? Sliding swipe. Oh, there's the slide. Out of guard? Only out of guard? Huh. Okay. That's interesting. So we can slide around out of guard. That's not a bad place to put it. I would have preferred that it be on the triangle circle. But I guess that's going to get us forward instead of around something. Spinning Reaper. Is that the... It's essentially a combo finisher. Yeah, okay. What's the input for the parry then? Is there a move list? I don't see like a 100 note section. I wonder if they have it in one of the menus. Oh, play guide? Weapon controls. There it is. Okay. I knew it was in here somewhere. SNS. Standard attacks, round slash, charge shot. Oh, yada, yada, yada. Oh. So it's become a perfect guard parry instead of an input. Huh. I think I like that better. This means you have to block time perfectly. It's like a just guard. And you hit triangle for a counter slash, but does it go? It doesn't go into perfect rush anymore. Huh, okay. Okay, let's see if we missed anything in Great Sword. Maybe the Gunlance one will tell me how to combo into Wyvern's Fire too. Oh. Offset rising slash counters now. That's right. That is an insanely powerful thing for the Great Sword to have. Can't really test it on a non-attacking target, but having a counter or the follow-up, that's pretty crazy. Okay, we'll look at what we have here on Longsword. So this is the charge. That's the draw. EI slash. Okay, Focus Strike or Spirit Round Slash, which is that's the L2 combo, this kind of spinning finisher. And if we go red, okay. Spirit Round Slash or Spinning Crimson Slash will extend duration for red bar. All right. Yeah, it's kind of a slightly different way the buffs work compared to something the other games, but very neat. I'm tempted to go longsword earlier in the game. Okay, let's do the next one.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Duels, another weapon I'm really looking forward to playing around with. Standard mash triangle inputs. This doesn't look that much different. Lunging strike. Huh. That used to be triangle circle at some point. Now it's just circle. So that goes into just the spinning slash, which I'm assuming we get double up if we go into Archdemon mode. Okay, kind of a simplistic moveset without any sort of buffs. We can reposition with lunging strike. Okay, that's useful. It's demon mode. Now we've topped the bar out, so we're in Archdemon mode now. Do we still have the... yeah, Flurry Rush. Okay, that's just on circle. I love that move. That move's a lot of fun. Okay, another new thing that I don't really understand too much, so I'll have to kind of experiment with it and figure out. When you go into Blade Dance, it's now a multi-stage attack. So the first one goes off a few times. If we hit it again, then we go into Blade Dance 2, and then I think there's a third one. So that means you're not totally locked into a massive string of hits like you are with the Demon Dance normally. That's 2. That's 3. Very stylish, very cool looking. Alright, we also get access to the Demon Dodge, which consumes our bar, but gets us that real quick evade. Pretty useful for kind of skirting around the enemy. Okay, let's look at the guide. Oh, there's multi-stage Demon Flurry 2? In Archdemon mode. Oh, okay. Huh. So it goes into that. Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay. The flow is different compared to dual blades I'm used to from Rise. Okay, what else is the guide saying? There's Demon Dodge. So, successfully performing a perfect evade will allow you to attack while dodging. That is just straight up adept mode from GU. That's really neat. So when you're in Archdemon mode, you have the white glow. If you do a dodge with perfect timing, you'll actually do an attack at the same time and get a buff. This is the Attack on Titan. I'm going to hit you with the tether and spin. Spin to win, Levi style, I think. Yeah, it's just a focus attack now. It's really cool. And this is the perfect invade boost. So demon boost mode gives you a increase to regular, raw, and elemental. So basically they want you to play dual blades even more aggressively than before. That looks fun. That definitely looks fun. If you can pair that with a skill that will mitigate stamina burn, I bet you can do some real fun stuff. They probably won't have Heaven Sent in this game like they did in Sunbreak. That Demon Flurry Rush, having like a way to kind of chain it is neat. Okay. I'm definitely going to be building set for duels. So many options. Oh, and you can cancel out of that. That's so handy. Can you just cancel the movement? Keep running out of stamina. We'll let that regen. What I wanted to test is if you could kind of strafe dodge around using the demon dodge. Yeah, kind of. You can keep the target kind of centered. Sidestep. I think evade distance and evasion skills are going to be really useful with focus mode. Nice. See, duels are going to be fun.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Alright, Hammer. I've heard Hammer is nutty now. Let's see if we can figure out why. Okay, standard pound into charge. Big hit. I think they took out Water Strike. I haven't heard anybody talking about it, so I'm going to assume it's either not a skill we have right now, or it's not going to be in this version of the Hammer. Which makes me sad, because that's one of the things I really liked about Hammer and Rise. A parry. Okay. What do we get out of charge in movement? Mighty Charge. Oh, that's how you do that. And that just goes. I'm assuming until you run out of stamina. Oh, that's right. You have that. Was it Keeping Sway in Sunbreak? Now you can reposition without dropping your charge. Big Bang finisher. KO damage for days. Say spinning bludgeon. Oh, you can just, yeah, that's right. You can go into spinning bludgeon now. That's what I read. It functions like a combo move instead of something that comes out of your charge when you're moving. I could see this creating some very meme-worthy clips. It just goes. Whoa. Man, that's a big hit. Right on my cat. This is either release or hit triangle to drop the big hit. Okay, still have that. Charge follow-up. Interesting. Hammer feels faster. Okay, charged. Charged attack. Charge step. Yeah, charge step as a regular move is pretty huge. I like that. So you have to go fully up to charge level 3 and then go into mighty charge. That is a big commitment. But I imagine it does stupid KO damage if you actually land that on something's head. And now spinning bludgeon becomes a follow-up in a combo. But if you overspin, then you'll be stuck. Okay. So not a massive change to the move set. A couple new tweaks and combo strings are the big difference I'm seeing here on Hammer, but it feels good. Just the ability to kind of choose your combo path and go fast. I like that. And go right into spinning bludgeon without any sort of charge animation commitment. That's pretty cool. I do kind of miss the alternate supercharge, super pound that goes forward a little bit. But the regular one's okay. The standing one in Rise with the switch skill lets you do the big, like, double heavy swing. I guess we're trading that for the mighty. Can you imagine if that did damage, the actual winding up and swinging? I guess that would be pretty nuts if just this particular combination did damage. Oh, I didn't even have to hold it. Just have to hold trigger. Can you go mighty swing? No, you can't use the quick dodge, the lunge. Wow. Very cool. Bonk boys are definitely eating. Okay.
Have you chosen your
Next.
weapon?
Ah, hunting horn. This is another one I wanted to get hands on to see how it's changed. We have a sax. And what I've heard is this weapon doesn't play like it does in Rise and Sunbreak anymore. So the break dance is gone. Oh, I like that move. But did they keep the... How's recital work? Okay, closer to the way it was before. You put the notes on the staff. Then you actually kick off with recital to get the buff. Is there encore? I haven't played Hunting Horn in so long. Another weapon I gotta build a full endgame set for in Sunbreak. Oh, there it is. I think that's encore. But it looks like there's offense and attacks with it. And I know there's the bubbles, the little circles to the right of the horn icon. Okay, let's see what the move list says. This is a weapon I don't know very well in this game. It's different. Hunting Horn seems like it's getting kind of an overhaul in every game. Flourish. Okay. Hilt stab still there. Performance. Performance beat. Oh, so you go performance. Encore is triangle circle. Let's get it to go off. That I think is encore. Okay, what else we got? Echo Bubble, R2 plus evade. Dependent on the actual horn type. Ooh, special performance. I wonder if that's like the Magnificent Trio or whatever. We'll get there. R2 plus X first, though. Oh. Okay, alright, that's what that looks like. So that said movement speed up. So we have area of effect buffs. I wonder if these can also attack. Looks like it lasts for a decent amount of time, too. With melody stocked, R2 triangle circle. Okay. Oh. Okay. Huh. Yeah, this does feel a little bit closer to classic Hunting Horn, which I have played less, admittedly. I only played it a little bit in World and Iceborne. Huh. Okay, what else we got? Offset melody. Special attack. Like an offset monster attacks. Oh, this is the kind of counter. How do you do that, though? Okay, and this tells us the songs. Triple melody effect combo. Performance, performance beat, performance beat. Oh, this is what I did, and that results in the big follow-up, I think. Quick perform combo. Go hilt stab into R2. Oh, and it comes out faster, huh? Yeah, that looks like it comes out faster. Huh. I love the idea. We're just sitting here wailing away with the saxophone. Okay. A hunting horn looks complex. Maybe not as complex as the old games, but I do like the kind of mix of kind of performance and the way the song buffs seem to be integrated. It looks like they're going back to the more classic style compared to the really aggressive, I'm going to hit you tons in Sunbreak. It'd be nice to have a choice. We haven't confirmed if there's going to be switch skills, but the ability to customize how weapons play would be nice. But even if they don't have that in this game, there's a lot of versatility, which I think is good. But yeah, hunting horn looks fun. I'll have to tell Plups that their weapon is looking pretty good. I just suck at it.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Okay, next up, Lance. All right, finally. Coming off of what we know in Sunbreak, how is Lance different? Well, poke chain combo, that's different. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That, I think, is going to be better than the big wind up lateral sweep. You get a lot of Lance mains from the older games. Did not like that in Rise Sunbreak. I didn't mind it because I started using Lance in that game, but I can see how, compared to the old games, it disrupts the flow a little bit. Okay, so we have upward stabs, goes into a multi-poke, and a chargeable finisher. Okay. Oh, there is guard dash. I thought they took this out. But you can't go all directions. Forward. Well, it's hard to tell. If we go forward... Oh, we can kind of move side to side. It functions differently, though. I think it's called Shield Advance or whatever they added in Sunbreak that lets you move cancel with it and basically move in all directions. This functions a little differently. Instead, it's more... It doesn't feel quite as fluid, but I think this is meant to be defensive and then just keeping your shield in front of you. I don't dislike it, but it's going to take some getting used to. I'll bet that's meant to be used in conjunction with focus mode better. So now you're essentially keeping the shield in front of you instead of pushing in one direction. It's not quite the same, but similar. Wait, power guard. What happened to the parry? Regular parry counter used to be guard plus circle. Now it's power guard. Okay, where did they put parry? Payback thrust, that's counter, I believe. Oh, we just have from standing leaping thrust too. That's nice. Okay, let's look at the move set. Dash attack. Return thrust. Oh. I think the standard parry is gone. Now it's just on block. Pressing triangle, perform a shield attack. I didn't even try that. Okay, that lunge. That's what that is. Shield bash at the end. Okay. So the parry is gone, but now it's got perfect guard. That's going to be a bit of a habit change. Similar to Adept Guard in GU. There was perfect guard in Sunbreak too, but I didn't really use it. I used the parries and counters more. Huh. So instead of it being a charged up parry, now it's perfect block into counter. And I'm assuming the bash does KO damage. Interesting. It's a very kind of different flavor of Lance from what I'm used to. But the in-your-face poke, don't stop poking. That hasn't changed. Unless... what do they call that? Charge counter. Does that parry? Did they put it there, I wonder? High thrust 3, damage, increase longer as hell. Timing this attack with a monster's attack will allow you to perform the powerful double counter thrust. This might be where the parry is now then. But what's the timing? Oh, I wonder if it's the glow. That's going to require some testing. Nope, can't hold it. I think that's what they turned the parry into now. Huh. Now that makes me wonder if Power Guard also has a parry state since we get the guard point flash. Okay. Yeah, Lance is going to be a very new experience, I think. But I don't think it's bad. I think there's a lot more kind of variety in the offensive tools. Less of an emphasis on straight defense and parries and counters. At least the way it was in Sunbreak. I also want to know how that one kind of flipping aerial move we saw in the last trailer works. I'm pretty sure that was Lance. Let's see. Another thing to keep note of for today's session, this very well could not be fully fleshed out movesets for the weapons. This is just what we have access to in the demo, in the beta. When the game actually comes out, I'm probably going to have to sit down and do another deep dive with the weapons. Maybe I'll do it off stream. But we'll see. I get the feeling we haven't seen everything the weapons can do in this build of the game. Okay, let's move on.
Have you chosen your weapon?
They could also tweak things, whether it's things like the motion values or some of the properties. I hope they don't detune things like the gun lance. I think gun lance in the Rise demo was really, really strong, and then they nerfed it. Hopefully they don't do that this time. All right, Swax. I heard this weapon is also pretty crazy. Okay, we got wild swings. We have that move, which doesn't put a separate buff on, it looks like. Or unless that's what the little glowing bit under the switch axe is for. Whoa, that's new. Big uppercut. Seems like the hits are a bit meatier. Okay, what about our morphing attacks? Okay, sword mode seems not too different. Yep, we got that one. Jumping double. Oh. The effects are new, though. Oh, that's another change I read about. Actual axe hits will recharge the bar. That's a really good change. I like that. Means you can get back to sword mode faster. But, let's see. Okay. That's elemental discharge. That has not changed. There's the big circular swing. I was wondering if that was in here. Amp mode, I believe, is when the red thing kicks off. That's what's getting the effects. Now, what's the big finisher? There's something big that you can do in sword mode. I'm looking for the input. Well, let's look it up. Wait, that's a counter now? Oh, that used to just be like an upwards chop before. So offset rising slash, that big uppercut swing, that can counter. Wow, that's crazy. That's just on an input now. I think that means fun to learn. Very stylish. All right, that's what I was thinking of. L2 plus. Oh, that's the focus move. I thought there was something related to like the discharge. That was a big nuke. Maybe I'm thinking the charge blade. Zero sum discharge. Amp state. Amp state, triangle, circle. Wonder if it'll work on the barrel. Maybe that's why it wasn't going off. What we'll do is we'll build gauge. We'll try it. Let's see if it explains. Wait, counter rising slash. Oh, this is another counter in sword mode. Okay, all right. So that's likewise a counter in sword mode. Oh, that's pretty crazy. R2 plus triangle circle. This might be what I'm thinking of. We'll try and get zero sum to come out, and then see what unbridled slash looks like. Power axe. That's the glowing bit, the buff state. Okay. All right. So we need to get amp state back. I think it's not going off because I'm not fighting a monster. I wonder if that's why. Normally the zero sum what sticks you onto the monster and then you blast them from close range. What about... It said R2 plus triangle and circle, right? Yep. Wow. That's really cool looking. So that's your big blow your load all at once if you have an opening. It doesn't seem like it takes a ton of hits to get to amp state. But trying to figure out... Okay, you have to hit everything at once. Otherwise it just switches you back. Let's see. You have to charge it? I'm trying to figure out how to get the big one to come out. Yeah, okay. Holding down the trigger for like the big massive swing explosion. That's crazy. Okay.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Swordjacks looks fun. Alright, now Charge Blade. I hear this weapon is a little bit more streamlined now. Still complicated. But not nearly as complicated as it's been in the past, just based on what I heard. Okay, combo pass to charge shield. That's the same. Charge sword. That's the same. Now, how do we get Savage Axe? That was like a counter. What is that? Shield elemental boost. Oh wait, is that the move that normally charges the shield just on a direct combo path now? Oh, that's not what I wanted. No, that's something different. There it is. Okay. Don't have any files. I'm assuming it's impact and elemental, or power and elemental. That looks like power. Okay, we've got amped elemental discharge. Looks like it's still cancelable. Apparently it's a lot better now. They have focus mode, you can aim. So if we want to drop the big one. Oh, it does that one by default now. Normally I have to pull back on the stick in order to get the smaller one to come out. So what's super? Looks like it said follow up. Oh, I wonder if you have to... No? There it is. It's kind of like a combo follow-up. Interesting way to make that come out. I guess that's to make it easier to know when you're going to commit to the big nuke. Okay. Slide. Now it's on circle. Okay, still haven't figured out where Savage Axe is hidden now. There we go. Charge blade. Guard. Oh. Okay, so that comes out as a counter on perfect guard. Hmm. Okay, this is charged sword. Man, there's so many pages of stuff for charge blade. Huh, so Savage Axe is locked behind a counter. That's interesting. So you can't just go into the pizza cutter anymore. Unless I'm missing one of these pages. Hmm. Okay. I wouldn't consider myself an expert on charge blade to really know what's different. The way SADs work, that's definitely new. Charging the sword. Okay, it's largely unchanged. Axe mode and using files, also largely unchanged. I guess that would require some field testing with the whole counter system.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Next up, Insect Glaive. This weapon has been very kind of polarizing since the beta came out. Can I even collect buffs? Okay, let's start. Yep, we can get red. I think part of the problem is the demo Kinsect is really slow. You don't have the ones built for speed, so it makes collecting buffs a little bit weird. Oh, the circular combo's not on the same inputs anymore. You can still do sort of an infinite combo, but it definitely feels different. I see what people are saying about how just the striking combos feel a little bit less flowy. I wonder why they decided to do that. Okay, we've got vault and boost in the air. I do up to 2. Where is the big windmill slash? I don't think it's gone, unless it's locked behind triple up. Used to be on circle. Let's see what the moves. Move list says for insect glaive. Okay, Pierce. That's new. Mark. Launch. Oh, is that after the forward carry? Well, it's hard to tell. No, that's not how you trigger that move. You can see in the little sample picture, jumping advanced slash is the thing that pushes you forward. Jumping slash... Huh. What if you have to make contact in order for that to come out? That wouldn't make any sense. It could be the target too, but that circular move is still there. But one big change that a lot of insect glaive mains were not thrilled about was that it won't pop you back up in the air, so you can't play Floor's Lava anymore. They had to put the offensive power elsewhere then, if you can't do that. I don't know. I definitely think the overall combo paths don't feel quite as fluid as before. So they're probably meant to be done a little bit differently. Like, that seems alright. But the regular standing double sweeping uppercut type of loop that you used to be able to do with Insect Glaive, it's not there. Guess more research is necessary.
Have you chosen your
Definitely
weapon?
feels weird. Doesn't feel quite as intuitive as before. Alright, my baby, other baby, light bow gun. Do we have sidestep? Yep. Well, rapid fire normal too, huh? Okay, back hops, it's still there. This one comes with pierce, spread, a little bit of everything. Okay, we'll stick with normal for now. Energy mode, that's new. So this augments the ammo that you're normally using, but it's on a consumable meter. Where does it tell me how much I have, though? Oh, there it is in the lower right, the little blue bar. So it's like loading special limited ammo. And that turns normal into kind of like a shotgun, a rapid fire shotgun. What about the other types? What does it do for thunder? So that's standard thunder shots with energy mode. So it turns it into a multi-hitting kind of a burst. Now I'm kind of curious to see how that really augments Pierce, which is my favorite ammo type in light bowgun. It's going to be hard to tell because we don't have any of the recoil down. And this isn't a rapid fire Pierce gun. Oh, okay, so it's... I wonder if that makes it in like a rapid fire spread of shots, but piercing, if they all pierce. That would be interesting. Definitely faster. What was that? Rapid chaser shot? Oh, that's new. I wonder if that's tied to energy mode. Nope. Huh. It's a follow-up. Huh, I wonder what the difference is. Is it a stronger shot? Oh, okay. Power shot. Kind of like the bow. But it restores more of the special energy. Okay. Can't be chained into after focus blast or using special ammo. Circle plus triangle. Special ammo for the bowgun itself. Oh, okay. So that's like the mines. I wonder if it's different for different bowguns. So this is an explanation of that special energy bar thing. So you can fire off a burst, go into chaser shot that ends with a stronger finishing shot, huh? And you can sidestep. Oh, and there's sidestep reload. Okay. Huh. Not a massive difference. For light bowgun, but that is some new tools that the weapon didn't have before, specifically that energy mode. I'd be curious to see how that functions with some of the other gimmicky builds. Like, what happens if you use it with spread? Oh, that's cool. It gives you a wider reticule for spread. That's a lot of recoil, though. Okay, so just more shotgun pellets. That is going to need to be paired with recoil down. That's a huge animation commitment. Okay. Focus mode looks like just the way it worked before when you have manual aiming. That's not a huge change for the weapon. But that could be fun.
Have you chosen your...
Alright, heavy bowgun. This one I'm really curious to see what they've done with. I have no idea what they've changed because I haven't done any research. But will they finally make me care about heavy bowgun again after me not caring about it in Rise and Sunbreak? Considering I used to play heavy gun more than light, I guess we'll find out. Oh, that's right. I can rapid fire now. That's also pretty big. Guard. Oh, it's not a persistent guard. But it is an input now. That's new. Mode switch. Oh, this loads in special ammo. So like Wyvern Heart Ignition. This is the machine gun. Yeah. Oh, it's still fun. It's probably that, and then the sniper mode for the other weapons. Okay, slight sidestep, but it's slow. Focus Blast, Wyvern Howl Shot. This is the focus special move on wounds. Okay, this is the toggle for energy mode, guard. Oh wow, there's really not a lot of inputs. Auto guard. Huh. Normally guards against attack from in front when performing an action that will allow you to auto guard. Okay. What does that mean though? Oh. Oh, so you can just let it guard, but it's probably one hit. Protects you against one hit, and then after that you're gonna get nailed. But there's perfect guard, which will allow you to do like a special backstep dodge. Okay, that's definitely new. You couldn't manually guard with heavy gun in other games. You could have it auto guard, but it wasn't part of the weapon itself. Okay. Wyvern Heart Ignition. That's machine gun. Wyvern Counter Ignition. Close range attack with an offset effect. Is this a different equipable ammo, or is this inherently built into the different bow guns? And that's the Focus Blast. This one I'm curious about now. Red Dragon says, I think it's built in differently. Yeah, that must be kind of like they did in other games where you had the sniper. Oh, no, there it is. It's just triangle when you have the special ammo. Okay, I was wondering how that move came out, because we saw it in the trailers. So that is neat but slow. So that's a counter, which the bowguns have never had counters. But, man, the timing on that seems like it'd be challenging. It seems like you'd have to lead an incoming attack really heavily in order to get that to come out. And you can't do both at the same time, looks like. I am a bit on the fence with heavy bowgun. I think these tools are a little more interesting than what was in Rise and Sunbreak. I was really hoping we would get dash capability on heavy gun. I've said it before on previous Monster Hunter streams, but my favorite iteration of heavy bowgun is from GU, and it was Valor heavy bowgun, where you could sprint and then slide into siege mode and unleash like a rapidly speed increased volley to your magazine was empty. It was awesome, especially with Pierce. Probably my second most played weapon in GU, Valor heavy gun. But it seems like they're focusing on kind of more of a tankier build with the guard plus the special weapon encounter. And then when you have the chance, just unleash the fury. You have that too, which is fun. So the big innovation for the bowguns was their energy meters, and they both behave differently. Also, having rapid fire on heavy gun is interesting. Okay, well, let us bring it home with the last weapon. We'll look at the bow, and then maybe I'll go out and try and fight like the Chotacabra, and we'll take the gun lance out. Okay, power shots and quick shot, power shot, volleys, that's largely the same. I am not the most versed with the bow. We played it a decent amount in Rise Sunbreak, but I gotta get better with it. Red Dragon says you haven't even hit base camp yet. This isn't base camp? Oh, 1,000 Dragons. Where's that move? Ah, there's the charging sidestep. So that's evade. It was dodge bolt in Sunbreak that I had. So I don't know if that parries, but it definitely looks like it dodges. Ready Tracer? Oh, this is the thing that lets you home? Yeah, I was wondering what that was. That's cool. That's a really neat thing that they added. Tracer rounds. So when you stick that on a part, then your shots will home in for a little bit and converge on that one arrow till it explodes. And we have arc shot. Oh, that does damage again, huh? Oh, and it puts a tracer on everything. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I thought it was just a single shot. I can't tell if it's actually homing in though. Huh. Can you put it on 1,000 Dragons is the question. Nope. I don't think so. I want to see if 1,000 Dragons homes in on... Yep. Okay, that's what I was wondering. That's pretty neat. What about Dragon Piercer? Is there still Dragon Piercer? Let's find out. fuse arrow. Oh, there's instant Dragon Piercer now too. This is what I thought I was doing. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like an evade shot. But it was 1,000 dragons. Like, oh, it's because I have R2 held down. That's why. So if we do this, there it is. I wanted to see if it would work on the tracer round. Yep. That is a pretty significant change in tools for the bow. Not night and day different, but giving the bow the ability to specifically target certain parts, I think, is really neat. You want to break the head? Okay, then shoot the monster in the face with a tracer round, and then everything is going to converge. But now I wonder what kind of bow I'm using. Oh, where does it say shot type? Doesn't say. Unless I'm blind. There's the coatings. Huh. That's a breakdown of skills. Huh. I wonder if it's displayed differently now. Oh, let's see. Is there a narrative page? Nope. Maybe we can't see it in this version of the game. Each bow has a shot type, normally. In the other games, there's rapid, pierce, or spread. But I don't see a listing of its shot type anywhere. I can't imagine they took that out. It just must be visible somewhere else. Maybe it's visible on the crafting pages. Or it's also possible that we don't have the full list of details here in the demo. But normally it'd be here. Like, I'd expect it to be in that little slot underneath element for shot type. But I don't see it. My guess is it's rapid. Because rapid has a pack of arrows that hit one point. Pierce goes in kind of a line and cuts through. And spread looks like a horizontal spread fan of arrows. So I'm going to assume this was a rapid type. Alright. Well, in order to get something accomplished, let's take out the gun lance. We'll go and see where this leads us before we wrap up. I want to get in a fight with something. But before we do that, I need to go fry some chicken real quick. So let me do that, and then we will head out and see. This will be a good test for the in-environment performance, too. If I go out there and everything just tanks, then I'll know. So I will be back in 1 sec. Red Dragon says, maybe as the weapon basic first, it doesn't have any. No, all the bows have shot types in the other games. Unless they took it out, which I doubt. It must just be for the demo. Or maybe they have the demo weapon, they just don't show the shot type, but I'm 99% sure in the final game we'll be able to see it because they always had shot types, even for the early game ones. But we'll see. All right, I'll be back in 1 minute. All right. Let's see what we got out there. I wonder if you're going to get the ability to name your secret. Oh, I need to turn that off too.
All right.
There is a setting that makes it so your secret will kind of wander on its own.
Intelligent. Give them a scent. and
I have no idea where that is.
They're fast too.
Auto explore.
Did you hear that? It's coming from in there.
It's fine if it's going towards the objective, but I think if you're not going towards an objective, it'll just kind of wander around on its own. I don't really want that to happen.
Down there.
It's Battletoad.
No! Stay away! Come on, bud. We have to run. Go! But I can't just leave him.
I'll help. Hurry. I'll show you.
It's go time.
It authorizes you to immediately neutralize this threat.
I get to test out the timing on the counter. Okay. Okay, we'll do that once we can actually inflict a wound. attack. Yeah. That's my focus attack. To hold it down? Yep. To hold. Nah, it's hard to tell.
That wound looks vulnerable.
Yeah, when you have a wound inflicted, if you attack it more, you'll get a break. I wounded its butt.
Aim for the wound while I get attention.
It's colonoscopy time. Stay right there. That's gotta be embarrassing.
Hey, monster! Over here! I'm the one you want!
There it is.
Hey, monster! Over here! I'm the one you want!
Leaving. R2 circle. Perfect guard. Oh, okay, that's the guard reload parry. Gotta get better at that.
Targeting you! Be careful!
Oh, I need to be using focus more.
It's targeting you! Be careful!
So yeah. Oh, that's, yeah. I forgot we can do that too. Good point.
Over here! I'm the one you want!
Now I got a quest again? Pretty sure it's almost dead.
Use an SOS flare to call for support.
Yeah, I'm good. Wait, can we run up walls? We can run up walls. Any walls? No, looks like certain climbable things. Not quite like Rise. So far, the environment seemed to be holding up okay.
If I hop on?
I'm not seeing a dramatic drop in frame rate. Well, that's encouraging.
I'll just hop on for now.
Not getting like a fully locked 60 though, but it could be worse. Open up.
We should be safe when we're on the sacred.
Sharpness is going down a bit. I should have done that when I was riding over here.
Hey, ugly! Over here! Almost there.
Right in the foot. This poor guy. Chatacabra's kind of the tutorial monster. And now he's almost dead.
You're facing me, big guy!
All right, definitely seeing some frames drop down here. Red Dragon says, I like how they put human voices on the cats. Yeah, it's toggleable. You can have the cats just meow like they normally do. But I don't mind that they can talk. Canonically, they can talk. It's just they haven't had like an English voice actor. Oh. I don't have any Wyvern's Fire. It's on cooldown. Alright. Boom.
Great work! I knew you were the best!
A little sloppy, but man, Gunlance is fun. You love to see it. Well, I haven't had a chance to really look at the environments. These caves look cool.
We're over here.
It's safe now. There. Thank the winds.
Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Wait. Hold on. Did you really do that? There's no way you should have been able to. So, how?
Take down the monster?
We came because your sister said you were in trouble.
Nona! Where is she?
She's safe. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll take you to her, all right? Hey, you made it.
What a fascinating creature. Any trouble finding us?
None at all, thanks to your flair.
Oh boy. Almost a slideshow.
You must be Isai. Please, this way.
Okay.
Hey, Hunter.
Oh man, that's like it's like 15 frames a second. Jeez.
Hey, your sister's just over there.
She's been worried sick. Hurry.
This is a pretty well-protected spot.
We could do a lot worse for an interim camp. This way.
Just a quick check. I'm telling you, we just need some space. She's fine. But she needs which we're perfectly capable of.
Nona!
Isai, you're okay.
Her dragon says this is where the true test starts. Yeah, no kidding.
You see, she's fine. Now scram. Go. Back to your stations. They'll fill us in later.
I didn't properly thank you before. Everything just happened so fast. I didn't know what to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Isai. My sister and I are from a nearby village.
My name is Nona. It's wonderful to meet you. I'm Alma. The others and I are here on a search. We're from a place far out west.
Blot.
How did you end up in that situation back there?
Oh,
Might need to make her eyes a little
it was
darker.
all my fault. I was careless. I was helping Nona with riding practice, and the Chotacabra snuck up on us. I told Nona to run for it while I got its attention, but when my sacred and I tried to get away, he slipped, and we fell into that cave. And so, who exactly are the two of you?
Oh, right. We must have really surprised you earlier.
I just saw the
Forgive me
sacred
for my lack of
teleport in the
understanding,
background.
but you use those tools? I've never seen anything like that before.
Back where we're from, specialists use these tools to protect others from large creatures. With the understanding that they're never to be brandished at other people, of course. Only those with special permission are allowed to use them.
We are Batman. Indeed.
Tools? Specialists?
Batman who carries a giant shield and
It's
a
only-
bladed explosive shooter.
I'm just glad you were there.
Where's this village you say you're from?
I like the dialogue
It's just a
choices.
short distance away
This is
from
more
Secret.
than the hunter ever talks in any Monster Hunter game.
Would you happen to know of a tribe called the Keepers?
The Keepers? No, I don't. Sorry.
I see. Well, that's okay. We're actually helping our friend here find his home.
I don't know any of these people. I skipped the opening thing because I didn't want to get spoiled on the opening storyline.
Keepers, huh? Sorry. I don't remember ever hearing that name before. But our elder, she might know something.
Thanks for letting us borrow your sacred earlier. They were a tremendous help.
Did you train them in your village?
Yes. We raised them from eggs and trained them ourselves. They're invaluable to us as companions.
They're so intelligent. They really came through for us back there.
I know, right? They're great at sensing and avoiding
Her
trouble.
dragon says it's fine. You're just
And
taking the kid
remembering
back home
sense.
to a place you thought no one could live.
But they're pretty tricky to handle.
Yeah, I know roughly the plot for when you find
Take this guy for
that
example.
kid.
He won't let just anyone ride him. He's almost too smart for his own good. So, when I saw him take to you so easily, I was really impressed. He must have a gift.
That won't do to keep you talking. Let's take a look at those wounds.
Why don't we have a look around base camp?
Oh, is it actually going to give me access to the hub? The hub, or is it going to kick me all the way out? It's going to kick me all the way out. Okay.
Hey there, Hunter. We've confirmed sightings of Joshagama, fierce monsters with a nasty temperament here in the plains. As it's likely they're traveling in a pack, we've been authorized to deal with the threat before it gets out of control. I've marked the target on your map. For now, take these two while you're at it. I'm sure you'll find them useful.
Got it.
Have you selected your weapons? If not, you can do so in the tent over there.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't
You can equip both
it doesn't boot me
weapons.
all the way out, but oh, good God, it's running at like 10 frames a second. And it's absolutely murdering my model too. Woof. Oh, and just lost connection. Great. Even if I'm standing still, I could tell it's running really rough. Her Dragon says, looks like you're going to need a ping model. I got some time to invest in some hardware. I'm planning on probably upgrading my CPU, which should help for a lot of the processing power. Not only for this game, but in general when running my model. Because graphics card wise, I think my graphics card is fine. I have a 3070 Ti. But my rig is not designed to run high level games and a VTuber model. That's not initially how I built it. I just started VTubing and realized I'm going to need more horsepower. Can we craft things? She talked to... Where is Gemma? I'm mostly curious if we can craft armor. Nope. All locked up. Alright. Primary and secondary weapons. That's cool. But we don't have... Oh, we do have different armor. I was wondering how people were wearing different armor sets. Okay, so this is like the Balahara set. Stamina surge. Well, I can test out how the different sets look. That's cool. This is the number 1. Number 2. I think number 1 looks cooler. Like it's missing a chest plate. Bombardier. Oh, there's skill info. Explosive items, that's not gun lance related. We want artillery for that. I think the first ones look a little cooler. Yeah, I think you're right, Red Dragon. I think the first versions are a little bit more covering or more heavy than the second ones, but we'll see. Not necessarily for the waist piece. I think I actually like the second one better. It's asymmetrical, but what the legs look like. Oh, definitely these. Nice. That's a pretty slick looking set. I could see myself making a layered for that. It's too bad you can't quick equip everything in a set from here. What's the Doshaguma look like? Oh, that's the helmet. Oh, it's fuzzy. Not bad. Oh, this will not have a cape? Oh, no, it doesn't. That's kind of interesting. It's got furry arms. Waist piece. Uggs. Armored Uggs. Yeah, I think I like that better. Oh, we have the Chatacabra set too. Alright, I'll see what that looks like real quick before we wrap up. Having so many different armor options is fantastic. Fashion hunting is definitely back on the menu now. And this one comes with speed eating, okay? Huh. This one is definitely less covering than the other ones. I actually like the second one's better. So we have a sash, either in the front or on the side. I like that one better. Ooh, poofy pants, nice. The shape is kind of weird though. I think I like the symmetrical one a little better. I would change some of the color highlights on it though. Alright, I'll put the Balahara set back on and we'll get ready to wrap up. Grill a meal. Oh, okay, we can tweak things with the appearance. Okay, so does this just give us... Oh yeah, cat armor. Good point. Oh god! What happened to Alma? Her polygons just left for a sec. I don't know if you saw it. She became Nintendo 64 for a second. So, we just get access to be able to do things from here in the demo, huh? I thought it was going to be like a limited number of instances we could do and then it just ends. Okay, what kind of weapons can we give you? Chupacabra hammer? Or the drills? I like the drills. Yeah, I didn't realize they'd leave it that open. That's kind of cool. I'll mess around with it probably offline. We'll see how it runs when I'm not actively running my model. Ooh. Reminds me of like a Zelda character. Very kind of like steampunk or futuristic. Oh, that's cool. Robot Cat's a little bit weird thematically. Oh, it's not a... Oh, that's interesting. I thought the cat had robot legs, but it's sitting inside like a robot exoskeleton. You can see the little feetsies. Oh, that's fun. I think I'm gonna go Doshaguma though. Some funky hair physics. Oh, this changes the camera. Oh, that's neat. There's like multiple camera angles all around in the tent. Our Dragon says you need more to drain your CPU. My CPU is gonna be screaming. I think if I wasn't running my model, it'd be fine, but for streaming purposes, I'll have to look at my hardware layout when this game actually comes out. Got a couple more months. I'll make sure when we can actually stream this that it doesn't suck. Oh, Nata, that's that kid's name. Okay. Well, let's see. If we quit to title screen, yeah, I'll do that. This kind of transition out to like the main thing that happens, that's a really neat touch. As the frame rate jumps up and the characters suddenly look a lot nicer. See, we want the game to look like that the whole time, even when I'm in town. And we get out and things look a little bit muddier and textures start popping in randomly. Alright, well, that was a first look at Wilds. We spent the vast majority of the stream talking about weapons, I know, but I like what I see. I think this game is going to be phenomenal. I just need to get it so that it runs well. Everything was fine till we got to town. Out in the field, fighting Chotacabra was okay. It was dropping a bit, but still playable. Then we got to town, and everything just went... But I got time to figure it out. Let us see who else is online now. I'm not usually live on a Friday, so let's see if anybody I know is around. Oh, Ladybug's live. She just went live now. She's playing Battle Network 3. Alright, let's go head over to Ladybug's stream and see how things are going over there. So let me go ahead and mute you. And we'll go to outro. And we will be back tomorrow. Noon Pacific. We'll be resuming Elden Ring, Red Dragon and I guess we'll figure out what we're going to do. If we're going to try and fight Radon some more, or go and get some more of the shards and make our chances better. So we'll figure it out. Either way, if you want to see suffering and pain, tune in tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was fun looking at Wilds. Really excited for February. In the meantime, have a good rest of your night. Now let's go see how Ladybug's doing in the Battle Networks. Assuming it'll let me raid. Let's find out. I think it's gonna go. Hallelujah.